sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air. For digital safety, we're showing you where. Cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch.
Hello, and welcome to our year in review stream. Well, it's not the end of the year, but it's the beginning of a new year, actually. For those who don't know, my name is Clifford, and with me is my co-pilot, Omar.
I'm good for now. I don't want to say Happy New Year to everyone listening.
Late with this year in review, but yes, can't review the year if it isn't completed.
Sure.
So, go through. Preparing for this before I get too much into detail. Welcome to the TCP Radio Show. This is the unpredictable or relaxed type of stream. So often we get an opportunity. It's unpredictable because we don't know when we're gonna have some time. We just, we have some free time. You guys, what we're gonna try to do for this part is give it heads up. Be ready for. Apart from that, this is just a more casual something. We do have this episode podcast. Monthly interviews and release podcasts monthly for that one, so you could formally speak to it. Stuff like that. Here it's a more relaxed vibe. We just let me try to things there side.
Everything quiet for now. Thankful for 2025, I could tell you that much. It was a strange year, but we had 3 big things that we accomplished. We can't wait to talk about it. But Yeah, everything I agree.
Yeah, so that we I think, but these new earbuds is to get it. Uh, um, that is it working or not?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so okay, I just need to be a little bit closer for the guys on the stream and see how that comes. Yeah, that should be nice. Hopefully, it's not too loud. All right. We somewhat settled now. So let's see. How about now, guys? Don't forget you can pop a message in the chat, yes, and see how things are going. Get be a part of this whatever this is. So we have a few things we want to discuss. You we want to give updates on talk about some of the things that we accomplished in 2020. Then we're gonna touch base with some of our the friends to see how they're doing. They have so new year.
Yeah, hearing. Hold on. There.
Rather well. Oh, what if eh?
Let's go! Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. Show. Let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air for digital safety. We're showing you where cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation.
Testing 1, 2.
No, this is the TCP Radio Show. Hey, the cyber people are on the air for digital safety. We're showing you where cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show. Let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. Hey, the cyber people are on the air for digital safety. We're showing you where cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. The TCP Radio Show. Let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. cyber people are on the air. For digital safety, we're showing you where. Cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air. For digital safety, we're showing you where. Cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air. For digital safety, we're showing you where. Cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air. For digital safety, we're showing you where. Cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air for digital safety. We're showing you where cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. The TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. This is the TCP Radio Show. TCP Radio Show, let's go. Knowledge and answers, watch them grow. Hear what you need from those who know. This is the TCP Radio Show. The cyber people are on the air for digital safety. We're showing you where cybersecurity starts with cyber sense is key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see how good this audio is. I guess you hear me pretty well. Backup audio. We're gonna use that for the rest of this stream. Um, this is the place where we troubleshoot. This is where real IT work. I mean, most of the time I live stream, you don't see all of the complications that is involved. But I'll tell you, live streaming is not really as straightforward as we would like it to be. Nevertheless, we're gonna continue with the show. And let's do a quick check-in with Omar and see how it goes. Omar, what's up? You with me still?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. You hearing me? Everything
Yeah.
good? On the
Yes. Perfect. Yes. Okay, good. So we could actually continue with the show now. Apologies, everyone,
phone.
for the 20 minutes later. But yeah, we wanted to do this year in review, and we wanted to do live just in case anyone wanted to share, give response, uh, just to be able to get, sometimes it is what it is. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to give a bit of update on the cyber people, what we've accomplished and what in 2025 and what we set out to do. We wanted this to be a nice, relaxed conversation. Also touch base with some of our friends in the industry. We didn't want it to be anything too formal. It's not like a report. It's a more so of like, hey, we set out in 2025 to do a number of things, and this is what we were able to do. And these are what we plan to carry over into 2026. Let me just pull up my documentation here. I got some stuff written down so that we don't stray too far. I tend to stray a lot with these when we just having a good time. So welcome. So I'm gonna pause, give Omar a chance to come in and say a few words as well, and then we're gonna touch on the first the big three, or what we want to call it, this segment called the big three, and three things that we would have accomplished in 2025. Omar?
Well, 2025, I would say, as Clifford rightfully said, we have big plans. Um, I don't want to jump ahead of Clifford, but things don't always go as you want them to go. But nevertheless, you push forward and you go through. And I think those big plans turned out big for us because we learned lessons along the way to even make bigger plans and to become bigger in this space. So I don't know, Clifford, you want me to touch on the first one, or you wanna jump in
Well,
and
we like 20 minutes late, and we have some friends who are waiting on the outside for us,
okay.
who we plan to touch base with. So well, let's see if we can touch base with some of those guys, and then we will share some of 2025.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because so let's see if we can find. Let's touch base with Roger. Let's see if Roger's available. So while we get in contact with Roger, and this is Roger Blenman, by the way, we can touch on one of the first thing from 2025, and that would have been an event in January. You want to tell us a little bit about that, Omar?
Yeah, I don't mind. That was the event that Clifford and myself did our first. Well, I wouldn't say our first major, but our second speaking engagement to a large crowd. And that was the Caribbean Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit held here in Barbados in January. It was a exciting event, an event that was anticipated by many. It was had an overwhelming number of persons who signed up, to the point that we had to have an online presence for those persons because the venue was a little cramped at the time. But nevertheless, it was a success. At that summit, though, Clifford and myself, we talked on the topic, the effective awareness training when it comes to cybersecurity. We were in a room with corporate entities, and the response was great because although they will do awareness training, they never did it how we talked about it at that summit. Yes, it was nerve-wracking. I don't like speaking in front of persons, but I find like when I'm passionate about a topic, I don't mind speaking in front of persons. I think Clifford, both of us feed off one another energy, and in all, it was a good presentation, well received. Persons even came up to us after to talk about some of the things that we shared. And I think, Cliff, the evening in the car park, think was one of the greatest feelings when someone who just happened to be viewing the summit online drove from home to come and meet us to, continue the conversation about how effective cybersecurity awareness training can help small businesses. So I think the summit was a good way to start 2025. A lot was learned. And at the end or coming down to the end, we will talk about the summit this year, the same Caribbean Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit that will be coming off in August.
Yeah, I have a surprise for you. Um, when we get to that part of the show. With us, we have Roger Blenman. He's helped us a lot in 2025. Whenever I called on him to assist us to present or to share of his expertise, he was always ready and willing. So hey, Roger, welcome to the show. The Cyber People, the TCP Radio Show. How are you doing, man? Uh, can you unmute the not hearing you? Still not hearing you. All right. Well, Roger checks his audio. Yeah. Like Omar said, the Carbon Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit back in January was one of the first um, time doing a presentation on that scale and partnering with others. It was, I think it was a trigger for me in a good way that we were able to then pivot from that on to to do more things and to get more involved. Let's see if we got Roger. Roger, are you with us? Not yet. All right, cool. Okay. All right. So we're gonna jump to the next item. You could jump in anytime once you get your audio started, Roger. You could just jump in and stop. We can pause for you. February 2025. That was like less than a month after. What happened? What happened then, Omar?
Well, we went to AgriFest. We had a booth at AgriFest where we spoke about our cybersecurity and its effects on agribusiness. You know, we show the overlap of how agriculture is affected by cybersecurity or technology, I should say, and how farmers need to understand, you know, like the basics of how threat actors attack their systems. I'm gonna let Clifford talk on this more because it was his brainchild. He brought it to us with a big plan, you know, and the leading up to how we got it pulled off. I think Clifford is the best person to tell this story. But what I will say is that AgriFest and being there showed us that persons are willing to learn about how to stay safe within the agri realm. But as I said, I will let Clifford, you know, dive in and tell us more.
It's pretty simple. Persons don't know. For those who know me, know that I like all things IoT. So smart bulbs, smart speakers, different little gadgets that is connected to the internet that makes everyday life easy. Um, and operational technology is the closest thing in the professional realm to IoTs. And there are IoTs, but then there are OTs and stuff like that. And then I'm thinking about drones, and somewhere it was, and I saw um, a drone, crop dusting drone, and I think it was on YouTube. I was watching a channel, and it was talking about how drone technology can revolutionize the agriculture industry. And I've heard around the island a mention of drones and other OTs for that has to do with agriculture or maybe or even with poultry and stuff like that. Chickens, I can remember as a youngster dealing with chickens that has to be certain temperature, uh, regulate the temperature throughout the day, throughout the night, so they're not too hot, they're not too cold. And then there's automated feeding system, watering system, and all these things. And we live in a day and age where these things are no longer mechanical to some extent, or I should say that they might be hybrid, or they're more um, they feed off we put more smart. We make them smart. or what we say smart in quotes, whereas are able from a cell phone or from a tablet at your house or wherever you are, yeah, with an internet connection, check to see if, apart from the CCTV cameras, where you can check in on your livestock or your plants and on your vegetables or whatever the case may be, you can, schedule a drone to fly and do crop dusting or whatever the case may be, fertilize your plants. It comes and refill and do everything itself from systems that give the right amount of portion of food and stuff like that at the appropriate time. So looking at all of those technology, looking at how um, my interest there was in providing security because you know farmers, agriculture professionals see these technologies as helpful, and it's one thing to use the technology, but you also need to secure this technology and also secure your livelihood because threat actors are everywhere. Ransomware is no is no stranger um, to the cybersecurity industry. We've had a number of ransomware attacks in 2025 from big organizations, some who would have paid and some who would not have paid. And we live on a small Caribbean island with I would say, a big footprint. But and our farmers are embracing these new technologies, so we wanted to make sure that we had a presence at AgriFest. I'm bringing it home now. I can't get carried away. Omar, you need to pull me back when don't let me go too far. But yeah, we wanted to have a presence to share, to educate the agriculture community on the cybersecurity risk associated with different operational technologies, things like drones and IoTs. Um, Regulating it, ransomware, things like password security. So the idea came from just wanting to secure and be able to bring a light to bring the topic forefront so that when professionals, get involved and jump on board with new technologies and all of this smart stuff, that they're aware that there are risks that comes with it and that they're placed where they can get help if they need to mitigate and also to to circumvent anything that may happen. So, and it's has never been done before to our knowledge. So we wanted to make sure that we have a present. Now, in January, there's February. February is just a month away. We don't know if we're gonna do it this year again. Maybe too soon, but you never know. Anyway, let's check if Roger. That's just me.
You're,
um,
yeah, sorry. You're hearing me now?
yes, there we go,
Uh,
Roger.
yeah.
Yes, welcome to the show. Um,
I was listening to you guys talk and yeah, had me thinking um, maybe I'd be able to step in there and do something, do some work there. Yeah, in terms of security with the farmers. So thanks for the idea, Cliff.
You left. So what's your overall thought? What's your overall about the whole idea of technology and cybersecurity and farming and these different stuff? Because when it comes, there's food security, and food security is a very important thing for us on this island because usually if we're not able to produce it locally, then we have to import it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but
Um,
yeah,
well, I always say, the person who feeds you controls you. And it's something that we definitely have to do is to cut back on our food import bill. And I think what you're saying, the road you're looking to go down, is that you definitely need to to do something differently. I mean, people ain't getting up and going and water livestock and that sort of thing anymore. These are things that can be done remotely, and I think that doing that, introducing the technology to that industry will get a lot of younger people to into the industry because these younger people tend to be very technological. So it would take some of the drudgery out of the whole idea of farming, and I'm quite sure you see a lot more of the younger people going into farming once the technology is being embraced and implemented. But as you rightly said, um, once you're going to be bringing in the technology has to come in on a security platform, and not that you're going to try to secure it after you've implemented it. Security first, and then all the other implementations can follow.
Nice. Yeah. So tell us about how was your 2025?
Well, 2025 for me started, well, to continue from 2024 and stuff, you're moving forward. I started studying in January 2025. Doing a master's in cybersecurity is something that I've been looking forward to starting. From the time I started doing the cybersecurity program, as a matter of fact, I actually started a master's program in computer security. That was back in 2017, but it obviously didn't work out. Funds weren't materializing. Excuse me. So did the boot camp, and then my dream was always to do the master's in cybersecurity, and I was able to start that in January. Coming through the year, and it's pretty good. It's going pretty good. A lot of what we would have done in the boot camp, it's coming back up in a little bit more detail and stuff. So I was able to get through that. My contract came to an end in the middle of the year, and that really caused me to start looking for my next step. Right? People who were in group 9 with me would remember that I was the one always saying, we should really get together and do something, create some sort of cybersecurity team on our own. So that is something that I'm looking to do now. Going forward, I'm realizing that there are a number of entities out there that are actually looking for people to partner with in the Caribbean. So I'm trying to take advantage of that, and hopefully 2026 would bring some new and exciting prospects into my path.
Sounds good. The year is pretty young. We have a set of people that have some stuff that we weren't able to do. We'll speak about it a little bit later. But we'll bring those stuff over to 2026, and more once everything is fine tuned and sorted. Then we're looking forward to working with you, Roger. It's always a pleasure. Working with you. So is there I want to open the floor to you, apart from for you to share anything or reach anyone at this time.
You want me to shout out? Shout out to my peeps. Oh boy. Well, having gone through the boot camp from both ends, one as a student and then as an instructor in the boot camp, I met a lot of interesting, exciting people. I knew you, Clifford, from before church and stuff, but to work with you this closely, that was an interesting experience, and I'm thankful for that. And then there are other people. I don't really do a lot of communicating with a whole heap of people, but there are a few people that I'm still in contact with. There's a young lady by the name of Roisin, who was in cohort 3. So I'm in contact with her. Rachel from cohort 2. I'm still in contact with Paula, that was in cohort 1 with us, Jamal. So there are a number of people that I will consider I'm fairly close to, and every now and then we would have a little, bounce ideas off each other, that sort of thing, checking on each other. I think that the cybersecurity, you're gonna stop me here, Cliff, because I could go on. And
that's how we are.
There are a number of people Well, no, what I really want to say is, since we started this boot camp, you see a whole new world, this cybersecurity world that it was always there, but you never really focused on it, that sort of thing. And one of the things that I realize, and I want to be able to pay it forward, I've realized that a number of people you come in contact with in the cybersecurity world, that they're willing to help. It doesn't come over as competition. To me, I don't see it as competition, because these people are already established and they're willing to help you to get your foot in and stuff and move forward. There's a young lady on my LinkedIn contacts. She's in Nigeria, a young lady by the name of Itunde. And, time difference apart, I can reach out to her and she always responds, right? There's Edward here. There's Neil. So I find that these people, they're willing to help. You reach out to them with a problem, and they will always give you good advice. My guy Stephen Williams, I can't forget Stephen. He is one of a kind. He is always thinking. He's business. He's also cybersecurity, and he's always looking for the next thing to do. Right, and I like that sort of energy. So I feel good working with him, collaborating with him, that sort of thing. And wherever I can chip in and help, it pleases me to do that.
Nice.
There is Neil.
Yeah. How do?
I just called the name.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna jump to Neil in a second. How do we, if persons want to reach out to you, is there, you open to people reaching out to you and connecting with you and stuff like that?
Sure. Yeah. I almost every day I get people want to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm going to say this now. If you send me a request and you don't have a picture, if I can't see who you are, I probably won't respond. It's very unlikely that I will respond. So, if you are going to reach out to me, I can tell you now, I check to see who you know, and then we can connect from there. But if you don't put a picture, at least, so that I can at least see you and get an idea as to who you are just from that picture, I probably won't go ahead with that connection. But otherwise, I'm open to connecting with people.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you again, Roger, for taking the time out, over here, and just being able to sit with us a little bit and chat.
Yeah.
We'll I guess the next big event, I'll see you.
Well, I heard you talk about EduTech, not EduTech, AgriFest.
CDS.
Yeah.
AgriFest. So I hope that I can work with you on your AgriFest project if you go forward with it this year.
Yeah, I will keep you in touch.
Yeah.
I'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah.
All right. Nice having you.
All right, Neil.
Hey, Roger.
Hi. Hey.
You hit a very good point. AgriFest. I'm looking forward to AgriFest.
So you'll be here for that too?
I'll try to be, but I know I'll be assisting my boys at
Cliff, the pressure on, Cliff.
Yeah.
hey, it's a new era.
Yeah.
You need to capitalize.
I really admire the cyber people. I see them. They're very active out there, and I don't want to be trying to move in on anybody's flow. But yeah, I like what you guys are doing, and you're making an impact. I can assure you, you're making an impact.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Roger, I don't think that you'll be moving in on our flow. I think you will be helping us, because we all about collaboration, and
yeah, for sure.
We like people with like minds, like people who looking to push forward. Like I met Neil once. All Neil keeps saying is, I like the enthusiasm. You just said it. You keep hearing it. It's like we see the dangers daily in the things that we do, and we want to let persons know, well, yes, you pick up your phone, you use it, you think, well, it's harmful, but to like have persons to be out there with us pushing forward the good news or the gospel, we can keep it like that. The good news or the
Yeah.
gospel of staying safe online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much persons don't do it. Everybody like to get into the back end of, I can hit on Neil a little bit, the digital forensics. But in order for Neil to get hit with them things, people not aware of what they're doing. So like help Neil sleep a little better at night. Like the person is aware, you know?
I
So
would appreciate that.
we don't mind
That's very true.
collaborating with persons once they are true about what they are doing, you know? So this year, for sure, I know you did say we will be collaborating in some way, shape, or form. For sure.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I'm going to jump off now so that I'm not cutting into Neil's time. All right,
Fair
Neil,
enough.
we will
That'd be
talk
good.
another time, Neil.
The sorrow acre can get.
All right, big man. All right, bye.
All right.
Just before we jump to Neil and just have a quick conversation with him, I just want to touch on the third big item from 2025 for the cyber people, and that was our virtual cybersecurity summit in October. I'll jump over to Omar. He can give a little bit, and what he does not tell you, I'll try to see if I can fit in there, and then we'll jump to Neil and see how his 2025 was. So Omar.
So our cyber security summit, which Clifford just mentioned, it was virtually. We held it in October. We wanted to touch on the human side of cyber. I think we just spoke about it before. It's like we all use our devices, we all use our phones daily, and sometimes we just click, we just share, and we don't necessarily sit down to see what we are already doing. And we realized that our brains kind of allow us to do things without us really thinking about it. And we wanted to show persons, well, there's a connect between how they think, how they interact with their devices on a daily basis. So like simple things like cyberbullying, it comes in all shapes and form. My presentation along with Dr. Clark, we discussed about the different ways that threat actors use psychology to get into person's head, I should say, for lack of a better term, and how they use everyday interaction to trick people into giving up their crown jewels, as we will call it. So the summit, it was, how to put it, a tall hill to climb, because
Indeed,
we had some doubts about if it would get off the ground or not. Around that same time, I had to travel. And in between there, it was getting things in place, getting persons to speak. But I think one of the biggest lessons that we learned from that virtual summit is that it can be done. And once you include like-minded persons, it will get done. And for me, the highlight of that summit was the final day, the panel discussion that we had. It went overtime and no one fussed or fret, because outside of having fun, we were exchanging and showing what happens when, experts unite. And it shows that there are persons within other islands who are seeing the same things that we are seeing here in Barbados, who are willing and ready to, bring about resilience within this space of cybersecurity. So I think it was the biggest milestone that we accomplished. Will we do it again, or would I do it again? Yes, I would, because the feedback also was positive. Yes, there were lessons to learn, but we got through with it. And I think, I don't know, Clifford, you will tell me about the feedback you received, but the things persons were saying, it encouraged me to be able to push to do another virtual summit this year.
Yeah, but virtual, I would like it to be in person, but I guess,
Well,
that's what you got Neil.
whichever, well, then again,
Yes, if you want to interact with us in person, we have the Caribbean Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit coming up in August, and we'll share a little bit more information about that. Yes, it was a very, like Omar said, a tall order. It was a big challenge. I've never planned an event, at least certainly not 4 days. And not but it was a lot of work putting all the pieces together. We had great help from Neil, and he'll be able to give his insight in a bit on his take on the summit. So we're gonna come to you, Neil, shortly. I just want to take this opportunity to also shout out Devon Paris. He did a presentation on effective cybersecurity awareness training. So he presented to the Caribbean Policy Development Center, I think it was. Yes, he had invited me in to just to show support. That he did a phenomenal job there as well. So we're reaching places, I would say. So over to the moment we've been waiting for. Mr. Hines, how are you, sir?
Everybody's waiting for me. You guys are doing this. I mean, you guys on top of this whole section. I'm dependent on you.
So tell us how
People is the group that I will push and keep pushing, because not only of the enthusiasm and the initiative, the mere fact that you guys are out there and pushing it, and not studying the cliques, I am backing you 110%. So don't worry about it. Let the cliques go ahead and continue to be within their own little group and not welcome and appreciate persons like these cyber people that coming out and helping on the forefront. Let them stop there. The good Lord will deal with that. That's what you'll see on that clique thing. Anyhow.
okay. Yes, sir. How was your 2025? How was things for you?
My 2025 was a mixture of good. It was a mixture of some very downtime because of all the government shutdowns and that kind of stuff. But you know what? Again, the good Lord provided. And he provided in such a way that we got the Caribbean Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit off the ground in January last year. And based off of that, I can almost guarantee you that additional persons got on board and bringing the resilience to the Caribbean. I don't know if you guys realize, but there is a whole hype and heat. There's a whole hype about cybersecurity. The governments are pushing more and more towards of making sure that they become resilient. It's a slow process. Don't get me wrong, because it's a slow process. Let me just leave it as that, because I don't want to get any politics of it. But the mere fact that it is on the forefront is welcoming news to me, not only from a digital forensics perspective, but a cybersecurity perspective about pushing out messaging not only in the corporate, but also the vulnerable in society. And that is one of the things that we need to understand that. And that's the key to what you guys are doing, like at AgriFest. Nobody at all ever thought that AgriFest, which is more about animals and food and that kind of stuff, that there's a booth that is going to talk about cybersecurity, which incorporates the animal aspects, the food security aspect. Because when you look at the transit of food, we don't grow all of our foods in Barbados. It is imported, right? That import is coming by ship, by air. All those transactions and all those logistics are done in the cyber world. The moment that we don't protect that cyber infrastructure is the day that we are going to understand that those logistics are going to cause a serious issue in our food security. So, and our animals. Because if we can't track our animals, which is again through technology, we're not going to be able to provide that sense of security from a national level to the layman level. So kudos to you again, the cyber people, about making that impact at AgriFest. And I'm looking forward to you guys being at AgriFest again. Don't mind the little limited numbers. Again, if we look at, you guys know, if we look at the amount of persons that are on, it might not be 100, may not be 1,000, but the mere fact the messaging is getting out there to that 1, 2, 3, or several persons, it is going to replicate down the road. So keep the good work up, the cyber people and the cyber group. I love it.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Again, it all started in January 2025, which kind of propelled us into doing some of the stuff that we did in 2025 with the summit. Just believing in us, giving us the opportunity to, to expand, and then your continued encouragement helped us and support and guidance all along 2025, which we look forward for that support in 2026 as well, and our project. So we have to big thanks to Digital Technologies and Services, and a big thanks to you, Neil. There are a few others that we would like to acknowledge and give a little bit of shout out to, who would have also made who also assisted and helped cyber people throughout 2025. But what's your plans for 2026 looking like?
The plan's looking pretty good. As you know, the 2026 Caribbean Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit, hopefully we have the IASIS training on board as well, but that is due to kick off August 19th to 21st, which is the 3-day summit. But just prior to the 3-day summit, we are looking at the IASIS training opportunities. Again, we're working to try to get the cost of the venue down for that training period. I think that is one of the inhibitors of the cost per person. But I just want persons to know that the cost for the training includes a laptop with software for an entire year, a certification training by one of the top training bodies in the world that is sought all over the world. And the mere fact that we're able to get them to come to the Caribbean, which is going to decrease the cost of persons trying to get into the U.S. And you know how the political situation is in the U.S. with travel and that kind of stuff. Having them in the Caribbean is way better than trying to get 1 or 2 persons up to the U.S. at these type of trainings. So that is one of the key points that we're trying to push the IASIS training. But in terms of the 3-day summit, we have magnet forensics on board. We can have chain analysis, and I might be speaking a little bit out of turn on this, but there's a Pacific company that is looking to come on board with us for this year's summit. I can drop a little hint, techno, and then persons can add on the security, and then they can decide to go and do that research, and they will see the magnitude that we're bringing the 2026 summit to Barbados by having techno security on board. We have some meetings coming up this week, and hopefully those meetings will be we'll be finalize certain things, and then we'll be able to really advertise and push more of that content out of what the team. Well, the team, we already have the team covered, but more keynote speakers. We are trying also to push the digital reds. They have a challenge that is going to be launched. I think it's launched already. I'm not 100% sure. But at the summit, the winners of that challenge will be awarded at the summit. And if you go to our website, www.cdfcsummit.org, you'll be able to get more information, especially about that career and that youth expo that we're planning for the weekend just before the summit as well. So there's a lot that's going to be going on at the summit. We are asking persons to register early so we can get our numbers kind of firm. There's a small registration fee. And again, this is being put on basically not for profit, but just to make sure that we cover our overheads and to make sure that we bring an event that is a premier event for the Caribbean. It is not only for Barbados. We're encouraging and we have reached out to the entire Caribbean. We have a couple law enforcement from overseas already engaged and registered. We're trying to get the corporate on board. I've reached out to the Central Bank of Barbados. I've also reached out to the IDB Bank, and I also reached out to CARICOM. So we are working to see and get the right persons from a corporate level as well as from a private level on board, public level on board, so that we can have a real collaboration, a real meeting to find the solutions to help safeguard the Caribbean, the vulnerable in society, as well as building that resilience in the Caribbean.
Perfect. And the thing is, as we get closer to August, we're going to be having these interactions with you and share updates on the summit and how we progress. I know an invitation, you could expect an invitation from the 17 podcast to come on there and also give some insight. And as well as once I got an opportunity, we'll pull you in on these live stream. We want to do them frequently, but we have tagline it, the unpredictable TCP Radio Show, the unpredictable cybersecurity stream, because like we don't know, it's not for, I was telling the audience earlier, for the more, if you want something that is consistent and that is timed, that is the Cyber Scene podcast. Mm-hmm. This forum that we're taking here, this forum is more so for this more relaxed. Sip some coffee, sip some hot chocolate. The place, and just have that interaction and provide an additional avenue where persons can come and ask a question if you're unsure about anything related to cybersecurity. We're here. We'll have professionals popping in from time to time. You yourself, Neil, and other professionals. Just ask a question. The idea is that for too long, cybersecurity and getting good cybersecurity help has always been behind a paywall, or always has been only for a certain type of people. The cyber people is trying to remove that barrier so that you have a question individually or from wherever. Ask it and we'll provide an answer, an honest, straightforward answer. So that's just what we are about. So, Neil, anything? Go ahead.
That's the key right there, is that we have become too selfish as a society. And having the ability, listen, a village in years before, a village used to raise a child. Understand that clearly. A village used to raise a child. The mother or father now used to raise that child. The village used to raise that child. And I think that's where we need to get back in terms of cybersecurity as well, because there are persons out there that need help and can't afford the help. And this is why you come and you listen to the TCP group. You come and listen to other parties that are involved with the cyber people group, so that you gain that knowledge and you help protect yourself. Because there's no one person, there's no one government, there's no one person that can protect the entire infrastructure. Every single person has a bit to play in that regard to safeguard the framework and safeguard the cybersecurity within the Caribbean region. There's not one person. Every single human being have a role to play. And that is where we need to get to. And what you guys are doing, again, kudos to you. Because if not for you guys, a couple of other persons that jump on board on LinkedIn, etc., with you, we would be I don't really want to say, but we will be here today because we talk about tourism dollar, right? The tourism dollar is only strengthened by the national security structure. And if we can't provide a cyber safe area for tourists, we can lose that tourism dollar as well. So I want people to understand that part. Every single person have to play a role.
Yeah. So I'll give it this opportunity. Actually, is Omar still with us? Let me see if I can find Omar. He's been pretty quiet all this while. Omar, are you there?
Omar is saying, you know what?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Neil, I done with Neil.
No. No. I was just dealing with something on my end here. I don't know.
Mm.
I was hearing it all in and out, so just making sure that everything correct. But
Okay.
I think as Neil rightfully said, if we didn't get up and push, we won't be here today having these conversations, and they're needed conversations. As Kafir rightfully said, persons have questions that they want to ask and they don't know where to turn or who to turn to ask those questions. And that's why we do things like this, or we open ourselves to the public for them to ask questions. Because even if we can't answer on the spot, we could tap into our network to get the answers for those persons. So, and it all comes back to collaboration. So I think in 2026 we'll be doing more of that for sure, because the conversation can't end. It has to keep going forward.
Yeah. All right. So Neil, this part of the show is where you could shout out your peoples, or you could share an inspiring word, and anything else that you want to share with the audience before we let you go.
All I will want to say is this, and I really want the people on listening in and will eventually listen in, is to understand the mere one thing. In order for us to be cyber resilient in the Caribbean, we need to work together. We need to work together. We need to work as a team. The only way we are going to ensure that we remain on top of the game is to work in collaboration, not only with the experts internationally, but work with your experts locally. And I think that is one of the things that we're missing. We are bringing persons from Trinidad, from Jamaica into Barbados, and not giving the opportunity for persons that have the ability, have the knowledge in Barbados to help build that cyber infrastructure. We are not providing that opportunity to do that to them. I ain't gonna call the names, I ain't gonna call the businesses, but we all need to work together as a group. We need to work as a team. There's no I in a team. Team is spelled T-E-A-M. There's no I. So the cyber people, Mr. Millington, Mr. Kevin Hall, all of those persons that we have in Barbados that are trying to make sure that we have that ability to be cyber resilient, give them that opportunity, because it's going to lower your costs down the road. Corporate, we need to get corporate on board as well. And if we can get corporate on board, the private sector and the public sector working in partnership, we can defeat these threats and ensure that our dollar remain stable. That's my point.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Neil, for your time. And, we're looking forward to working with you for 2026. You've been a great help to disabled people, a friend of disabled people. And I have no doubt you'll continue to do so, and you'll continue to encourage us. So thank you very much.
You're most welcome. I'm always here for you guys. Mr. Militant, happy New Year, sir. God bless you.
Happy New Year to you also, Neil. I hope you had a very good one, everyone here on the call here.
Blessings. All right, guys, I gotta go. God bless again, and stay focused.
Thank you. God bless you too.
All the best.
So our next guest on the TCP Radio Show is Mr. Edward Millington. He has also been a very important person for disabled people. To disabled people in 2025, he contributed a lot, gave us guidance I would say, behind the scenes, and I guess on camera, on wherever, because he was a part of our summit, our cybersecurity summit in October, and we continue to look towards Edward for guidance as we in whatever activity we made we would have done, and we continue to look towards Mr. Middleton for guidance as we look forward to bringing more activity in 2026. Before we have a word from him, and check in with him and see how things are going, Omar, anything you want to touch on as we bring things down?
Well, not right now. I think we could let Edward go ahead. Well, we could touch on the real talk section where the lessons learned, And one of those lessons learned was we needed to be more visible. Although we thought we did a lot, we still needed to be more visible. So like having this show, I think as Clifford and myself would have told you guys that we put it off and off and off, and one day we just had a conversation, just get it out there, do it, we will get better, don't worry about the numbers, but we need to start so that we can, have a constant conversation. So that was one of the lessons that we had to learn. Yes, you want to be perfect, but at the same time, you can't sit around trying to make all these things on the back end perfect and never get it done or get it off the ground. So I think for 2026, that is one of the things we'll be looking to do, to be more out there with these shows, especially with the podcast. We want to bring it back. We are aiming for a podcast a month. I think on the planning side of things, we have our topics per se, but with cyber, you can't just stick to one topic because it's a ever evolving space. So we will, for 2026, have those podcasts going again. So yeah, everything is looking up for 2026, and we want to have a lot of real talk for sure, because we need to be more transparent with things that we tell persons, because actors out there are transparent with what they are doing because they don't care what they're doing once they're in. So combating them, we have to tell you guys that exactly how they are thinking as well too, and what you can do to protect yourself. So look out for those podcasts for sure. Look out for these pop-up shows, as Clifford rightfully said. It's not something that we're going to advertise a 2-day or 3-day in advance, but something will go out an hour to half an hour before we jump online. And if you want, you can come in, you can ask the questions, you can answer them on the spot, you can answer them with a follow-up. But we want to talk more and in turn do more when it comes to some pop-up clinics or on-the-go clinics. I think Clifford will dive into that a little later, but for sure this year we are looking to ramp up from what we did last year.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I'll touch base on the pop-up clinic and the cyber clinics and the pop-ups and stuff like that. And there's a few more treats, a few more information and ideas that we want to share with you. But first, we're going to go to Mr. Edward. We don't want to take up a lot of his time. Mr. Edward, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. I want to wish everyone a happy New Year. It is it's a very interesting time in the Caribbean. Not surprising of what we're hearing with Venezuela and so many things going on. Some persons would like a little pause on the peace, but it's the world that we're living in. And I will say for, not for your age, but many of us who are in our late 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, we are very privileged in a good and bad way to see the changing in technology, the peace of the world, and everything that goes along with it. But we're still alive, and thanking God for that. So it has been a pretty good one.
So let me ask you, how was 2025 for you? Were you able to get some stuff accomplished? You got stuff carry over to 2026. Was it a good year? How was 2025 for you?
2025 was an interesting year. One of the main things that was really a focus, not only for myself, but also for CARISAT Global, was to become that preeminent body and preeminent person that persons will be go-to to be able to understand true or pure cybersecurity and a consistent meshes. And in terms of my own development, work on getting more on the international scene with a constant meshes where we need to integrate cyber risk management into our governance structure, regardless if you're a small company or enterprise. So the year has really been a focus of, again, expansion of CARISAT awareness globally, and also my preeminence on the global platform to highlight those critical areas that can be lost in the noise. Everyone is, have to build security. They want to start breaches and everything. But what is the fundamental issue that's preventing whatever company of whatever size from attaining it? And I always say to companies, they say, we don't have all this big budget. And I look, ABCD has been hacked. And I say, you know what, just wait. You're going to see something fail around governance. So don't mind that you might not have maybe $100,000 or millions of dollars. The fact is, it's just simple things that you can do that are lost. So 2025 has been a very good year of that development. I can personally say almost became the chair for the Caribbean, the Commonwealth Caribbean Cyber Fellowship Program. I'm the co-chair. There's another good thing that has come up of that day. I'm now the founder and chairman of the Caribbean Charter Institute of Cyber and Information Security. And one of the main things we're looking at is the harmonization of policies, digital cybersecurity awareness. Let me just leave it simple. And also the capacity building and standardization of professionals within cybersecurity or cyber information security professionals of the region itself. So 2026 is a year of just continuing optimizing what we are doing, because nothing has changed. Governance tends to be still a very major issue. I myself became a member of the Caribbean Governance Institute to help along that focus line, especially when it comes to AI and cybersecurity governance or security governance. But this year in itself it's highly uncertain, and nothing has changed in my own belief. What we have to do is whatever we do, we just do better. And I would have come on just a few minutes before Neil would have disappeared and or gone on to do other stuff. And one of the things that, and I heard you all have been lamenting, you can get very frustrated in an environment where you have a meshes. Someone say is, how do you get that meshes out, and where do you do it? Everything takes time. You know, everything. I would call you. Well, it's TCP. The TCP team. Everything takes time, and nothing happens overnight. The race is for those who are willing to stay in it. You have to say that to yourself, especially when you are in the region and other parts of the world where there are other priorities. Right now, governments in the region, as of yesterday or as of the last couple of days, because they've received threat intelligence, now we'll be looking at priorities of their own safeguards from a political point of view. They'll be looking at resilience from a food, merchandise, etc., etc. Cybersecurity is going to be least on person's mind of yesterday. And we have to understand that. We have persons that are very traditionalist. And when it comes to technology is hand off to handle by someone. As much as what conferences everyone have gone to, as much as people read inside the newspaper, I had a piece where in the Nation newspaper that was highlighted, and then I think the next week came was Niall was also in the newspaper talking about ransomware attacks and so forth. We can only do so much. And over time, even as the Bible would say, and just if we can only 100 and we can get one person saved, the angels in heaven rejoice. It means that if we can at least have one person wake up. Yes, we would like 10, 100, 1,000. We would like to see maybe, I don't know, maybe 100 people on here listening. But remember, when things are prompt to sometimes again get person, but people would maybe watch it from time to time. But is this one of these things that so many people are doing it? People can become fatigued. So it's just a matter of patience. Just continue doing what you're doing, guys. And like Neil said, CARISAT Global, I myself as the chairman and of the Caribbean Charter Institute of Cyber and Information Security supports this venture because it falls under one of our pillars of cybersecurity awareness that is really needed through the region, a consistent message. And our real focus is to have a program that can be implemented, regardless if in government or private, that can be shared and utilize partners like the cyber people or the TCP to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. Because if we don't have that consistent measures, we are just setting ourselves to be exploited. And until the region suffers serious damages and people can feel it maybe in the pocket or whatever, change within the region always tend to be very slow. And this is really a threat that is constantly growing. It is like, I don't even know what to call it, maybe like a levee. It's being eroded from the bottom, but we still seeing the top and we figuring everything is so safe until one day that top collapse and not realizing that you had maybe who knows, maybe 100 feet just of space underneath, slowly eroding to take the whole village. So I think that until persons wake up, they will then see that as a technology or digital transform region, we are creating new risks within our environment that was never there before. Before, crime was normal. Someone may use a phone or etc. It was simple. Now people can hide digitally. People can steal from you digitally. People can assume your identity digitally. People can steal your money digitally, not only from from money within the banks, maybe digital wallets. You have cars, you have everybody like Ring and all these type of solutions. Your remote access light, that we can control
Yeah.
from our phones. All of these things has created an entry into our lives that we just do not know how it's affecting us. The watches that we wear on our hands can be breached. And instead of showing the correct information, remember something we just cause anxiety. And when we can cause anxiety, we can create other remnants of that fear. So therefore, keep on doing the good job, guy. And if you have any questions, I'm willing to see how I can fulfill and ask. I think we have limited time.
So my question to you, Edward, if the persons want to reach out, if people want to reach out to you, how can people reach out to you?
Well, I can be reached. The CARISAT Global number is public. Area code 246-231-8518. My email is edwardm@carisat.global. I'm also on LinkedIn. So any person can easily reach out. It should not be hard at all for any person to reach out to me.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, I want to thank you again for working with us in 2025. We look forward to working with you in 2026. And thank you for taking this time out, just to come and share some encouraging words with us.
That's no problem. Like I said, it is a job where we need as many persons, as our Prime Minister always said, many hands make light work, many voices create a greater level of awareness. And not only as a fellow at the Charter Institute of Information Security and also fellow also of the Commonwealth Caribbean Cyber Fellowship Program, my concern is that messaging is as consistent and accurate as much as possible. And therefore, I give kudos to the TCP group, not only in this venture, but in their efforts as they continue throughout 2026. And I would say anytime that you need some level of clarity or just a few words, just hit me up and I can respond or even create a voice note that can be shared with anyone and, to their own benefit.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for your time. Omar, as we, bring the curtains down on this episode of the TCP Radio Show, we're going to circle back on just two things. We slightly mentioned it, and then we're going to wrap up. We're going to try to finish this in the next 5 minutes or so. One of the things that we wanted to do, this was back on our Real Talk, Real Talk segment of this episode, and the lessons learned and stuff like that. Something we wanted to start and we didn't get to do, but we're going to try it again this year, 2026, is our monthly Q&A session. You want to provide a live stream, again, another avenue. One of the themes that you're going to keep repeating is that we're looking for different avenues to provide to persons so that they can, get that cybersecurity help or being able to be in connection or contact with someone that from the cybersecurity industry, because cybersecurity is everywhere. It's from your cell phone, the tablet, your computer, you go somewhere, as long as it's connected to the internet, it's there's an opportunity for it to be hacked and used for negative in a negative way. It can use to exploit us. So that is just one of the why we want to provide these different ways and educate you guys on how to provide this a way that we can come and get your questions answered, providing the information that you would need constantly, because as Omar said earlier, it is evolving. It's an ever evolving space, and things change quickly. So the monthly Q&A sessions, that will be apart from these pop-ups, that will be, that will be something that is for the most part scheduled. We're looking at the last Sunday of each month. We haven't had the time set up as yet, but that's just a social media post away to let you know like, what time it's going to be. But that is a place you can bring your questions. You can ask your questions uh, on any one of our posts, in the comments on any one of our videos, any one of these stream, and we'll gather those questions, and then we would we better answer it at these events. Omar, what's a good idea to that just came to mind is that we should be able to put a section on our website. I think there's a section in the contact us where persons can, um, ask us a question there as well, and we could respond based on what it is.
Yeah, I
Something
think that's a
else?
good idea.
Yeah. The next item we're looking at is the cyber clinics. This is more of a on the go type of help. Event where we would like to pop up at different locations throughout the year, at least once a month or so, where we can provide on the ground cyber um, services, things like help persons, educate persons on password safety, help with account security. We're still working out we, we have an idea um, what to expect and more of that information. But the idea is that the cyber people will be at a particular location at a particular time, and everyone is invited to come and get the most out of the opportunity to interact with cyber professionals, get helps, and get advice on anything cyber security, cyber related, and in terms of getting their stuff. Um, Getting assistance, any cybersecurity assistance. And then the last thing, well, not the last thing, but the last thing I'm going to speak about today before we wrap up is we're going to do some random appearance. And these already pop-ups are where we just pop up, put up some stuff on display and provide an opportunity where persons again can come and ask questions, find out more about the cyber people, find out more about cybersecurity. We'll be able to provide details and point you to resources that you'll be able to use. So we're online, we're providing guidance, and we're providing a avenue where you can interact. And this is not for individuals, this is for everybody. We'll provide you and give you guidance and connect you with the appropriate help that you need. The idea is that it's just that we want to provide a place where you can communicate and you can get in contact with us besides our website or social media. Um, we want to have a presence on the ground at different places just to be able to interact and engage with you, live and direct. So those are the three things that we want to bring over from last year into 2026. So our monthly streams, Q&A stream, Q&A session, just for Q&A. These random, the TCP radio show, that's something new as well. Inside the clinics, and then the random pop-ups, amongst other stuff. This year is all we're going to build on visibility and letting you know that there are persons or there's an organization out there that is catering to your cyber needs. So yeah, Omar, I'll leave you to do the VIP section, and then we can, I think we had a long run. We've had some good conversation. We've touched base with some good professionals, and the TCP Radio Show.
Yes, and you would have heard two of these individuals this evening, but we really want to thank Neil from Digital Technologies and Services, along with Edward from Cariset Global, who played a pivotal role in our development as individuals and as budding cyber professionals for 2025. Kafir would have mentioned it when he introduced and we spoke with both of these individuals. They really did help us. It was refreshing to have persons from our neck of the woods who went through it before, who can guide us. So it really was we had very long talks. We had inspiring talks. We always like to bounce ideas off of each other. So we really want to thank these persons. We also want to thank Roger Blangman. You will have heard him also earlier up in the show. And we are looking forward to collaborating with him. We also want to thank Devon, who is a member of TCP, who is pushing the message out there in other spaces as well. And we also want to thank Garner Downs. We would have met him while we were doing the cybersecurity boot camp. He also came on and did a segment on our virtual summit. We want to thank Roger Grant as well from Dominica, who came down for our panel discussion, which was very enlightening. I want to thank Roger Blangman, all the Rogers today. We Roger them. Roger that. He also was able to come on and do a Blackman story. Yes, Roger Blangman, Roger Blackman, and Roger Grant, the three Rogers. I want to thank them for coming on and sharing their insights and their professionalism. We also want to thank Dr. Clark also, who came on and gave us insight from the psychological aspect of things. And we're looking forward to working with these individuals again for the new year 2026. As Clifford rightfully said, we have some things that we are going to roll over from last year into this year and some new things. So look out for us. We will be coming with fresh information, old information, but all of like bringing awareness so that persons out there can be more resilient as we traverse this space.
Yes, that's it. And that's it. That's we don't have no official start. We don't have no official end. We just go until we are tired. And I guess we are tired. So thank you again for sticking out with us. This stream, we have to set a time limit on this stream, Omar. But I guess because it's a year in review and we did have a little rocky start at the beginning of this stream. That's the thing. See, that we pushed through it. And
All right.
yeah, we're gonna always push through the obstacles and the hurdles that we get, and we're gonna try our best to be able to be there and provide that contact point. So thank you again, once again, for coming through and for listening. Some of you who are listening on the replay, thank you for taking the time out for listening. For joining and listening. And if there's anything you can just
For our next show, I think we will have another member of our team. We're gonna invite Justin to come on and give his 5 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Of insight in the cybersecurity space. So you never know. Look out.
Yeah, and if you want,
Justin, you can even hear from Devon, and if as Pepper is going to stay, go ahead.
yeah, if you want to be here and you want to be a part of the show, you're a professional in the field, you want to be able to work with this type of people, you can drop a comment in any one of these videos. You can reach out to us. Our email address is connect@thiscyberpeople.com, or you can head over to our website, thiscyberpeople.com. We're on a majority of the major social media platforms, and we're very active on LinkedIn as well. So you could reach out to us, and you want to be able to be a part of this group and help share and help be a part of the driving force for cybersecurity in the industry. Omar, I'll leave you with the last word, and then we'll cut.
Well, my last word is to stay safe for this year, and see you on the next show.
People are on the air. For digital safety, we're showing you where. Cybersecurity starts with cyber sense, it's key. Join the conversation, come learn with me. TCP Radio Show, let's go.